Happy Saturday morning. This is the real Rachel. No makeup, no filters, just raw and real here. Early Saturday morning. My family's still sleeping and I'm in my spot reading my Bible, but just said goodbye to one of our lifelong friends since college. And just kind of processing some of the emotions of that visit, but also some of the conversation that we had. His wife, our dear friend, passed away in March after a very, very short and quick fight against stage 4 colon cancer. And really at the time it was just surreal to know that she was diagnosed and fighting the same disease that I was. I mean, what are the odds, right? That these dear friends of ours were engaging in the same kind of trial that we were. And as our friend left today, he said, "It's really good to see that you're doing so well." And I felt guilt just and shame like wash over me in that moment. And I said, "Thank you," gave credit to the Lord for that. But then I said, sometimes I feel guilty. And he said, "Why do you feel guilty?" And I started to really process that. My response to him regarding his wife is, I just feel survivor's guilt. I feel guilty that she didn't beat this disease and somehow I am. I mean, I haven't beaten it yet, but I'm heading towards that. In liver transplant, I'm doing well, I'm feeling well. And then my mind immediately goes to all of the people that I know that aren't doing well. And there's just this layer of guilt, why me? Why do I get to do well and others don't? And then I was just reminded, the Spirit quickly swooped in and reminded me, in the way that he does, comforting me, that guilt and shame is not from the Lord, but also he determines our steps. He determines the number of days that we live on this earth and when it's our time to go to spend eternity with him. And we don't control that. And sometimes we forget that. We put our hope in medical advancements and, good health and exercise and the things that we think that we're doing. And those are all good and important things to steward our bodies in the way that God has, required of us. But we don't determine when we live and when we die. And there should be no guilt in that, because we don't live for this world. I just thought it was really interesting and something I wanted to share this morning, that is kind of like an unseen emotion, which is guilt and shame. Feeling like I need to feel guilty because I'm not sicker. Feeling shame because I can't help my family do the things that I used to be able to do for them. I can't do it all anymore. And I took a lot of pride in being able to do it all. And God has stripped me of that pride. And I'm not completely over it. I still struggle some days with feeling angry that I can't do more. Sometimes I'm angry that people don't let me do more when I feel I'm capable of doing it. And I know that they're just trying to love me and protect me. But there is no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus. And I just keep bringing myself back to that. So no like huge devotional takeaway this morning other than I just wanted people to hear that that part of this journey exists, so you know how to pray. But also, if you're walking through a similar journey, I mean, maybe you have cancer, but maybe you don't. Maybe you just have other circumstances in your life that have caused you to feel guilty or shame for where you're at. That's not of the Lord. And I would encourage you to turn your eyes to Him, search His Word for truth, pray, spend time with Him, ask Him to reveal all of the good things that He's doing in your life and what the purpose of your suffering is, because He has a purpose for it. Happy Saturday.